So I did the Disney College program and I did a 9-page complaint against my supervisor. If you don't know what the Disney College program, essentially it's just Disney asking college students, hey, what if you worked for us for cheap labor, but hear me out, you get to go to the parks for free anytime you want. Did that trick work on me? Yes. Now, one thing that not many people probably talk about is the Disney College program is a gamble. So let me explain this. So when people ask me, hey, how was the Disney College program? I say it's 50-50 on where you are located. For me personally, I was at the wrong place at the wrong time, but I know other people during my program who had the best time of their life. They just were in the right spot at the right time. I just let people know that. And I don't think that's advertised much. Because you're either going to get, obviously, the recruiters and everyone who works at Disney, this is the greatest place ever. Oh my goodness, especially those Disney adult. Like, no shame if you're one of those people, but my goodness, some of y'all were really weird during my program. But then you might have other people who probably had very negative experiences there, so they're only going to talk about the negativity. I feel like I was more middle ground. Like, I definitely did not have a good spot, but I did talk with my supervisor, like, hey, I want to try this and that. And they did let me go to other places in my location because I was a really good worker and they trusted me, so they let me dabble in some other places. It was really nice. I mean, before I keep going, I should probably say when I did the Disney College program and where I worked. I did the Disney College program in spring of 2018. I got there January 17th and I left, I think, May 17th. I got the opportunity to work at the Grand Floridian Resort at Gasparilla Island Grill, Island Bar and Grill, Island Grill. Gaspy's. That's what we called it. I loved the Grand Floridian Resort, especially the spot for Gaspy's because the wall was just a window. And so during the nighttime, you would be working and you would just see the fireworks inside the restaurant, or you can step outside for a few seconds. But during the day, you just get to look at the lake and there's Walt Disney World, the Magic Kingdom. And I personally loved working at beaches, which is um, that pool resort area on at the resort. However, what made my experience not the best was my boss. There was a certain boss, I won't name her. I had a specific boss who was known for being kind of aggressive. She had that reputation where she was mean. Even when we started talking with, like, we had our first meeting with her, she's like, hey, I have that reputation, blah, blah, blah. She was trying to like play it all like I am nice, but she wasn't. How she would motivate you during work is just straight up yell at you. Like, she would just be yelling 24/7. And for someone like me who, if you are yelling at me, I start freezing up. And I'm like, And then she's like, what are you doing? It was just, I personally do not work well under someone who yells. There was one time where the guest asked for burnt bacon and she went off the roof. Like, she was like, why did you put this burnt bacon on here? We can never do. I just froze. Like, I could not get words out of my mouth because she was yelling so much. And my coworkers had to be like, no, 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 the guest requested. And then she looks at the ticket and she's like, oh, they totally did ask for burnt bacon. Oh my goodness, that is hilarious. Laughed it off as if she did not just give me a heart attack right there. Overall, she was just yelling a lot, and there was other things that I honestly kind of forgot. I then started trying to schedule for morning shifts because she mostly worked at night, but I was really good at working. Other supervisors, they trusted me, and you only get morning shifts if they trust you. So I wanted those. I wanted to work on her days off specifically, so then I had less days to work with her. And then I started working over at beaches because she hardly ever, like, if she did walk down to beaches, it was for like 10 minutes, but most supervisors don't do that. We had one of those like shift leads that kind of did the supervising there. I mean, eventually towards the end with all of that going on, I was working so much. I just got so exhausted that I just broke down in front of one of my other supervisors. She listened and She's like, "Hey, even though she is my friend and my colleague, you do need to report this." And so she let me write out what happened. I wrote 9 pages. It took me about 2 hours to write this. Then got called in to talk with my proprietor. Started off, he's like, in my history, have had many reports, but I have never had one this long, 9 pages. I was like, at least I made history somehow. And he was like, no, this isn't the history you want. So anyways, that is just in a nutshell of my experience. I did not like working with that particular boss. Overall, I really love the Grand Floridian Resort. I got to watch all of the chocolate Easter eggs get made before Easter season in the back room, which was super cool to see the progression of those eggs. I got to see some of the characters that would go dine at the character dining experience behind stage, and that was a lot of fun being able to talk to those characters. One of the other things I got to do was get to try the Aurora Tea Party thing, just kind of like serving food and drinks, and that was really fun. Oh, and then I picked up some other shifts. Like, my favorite was the fireworks show, because where they placed me, it was also my birthday week. I was turning 21 during my program. That's another story. That night, I got placed right in front of the castle, and you're just like directing people like, keep going, do not stop in this road. And once the fireworks happens, most people are already standing where they need to. People aren't really walking anywhere. I got placed right under where Tinkerbell flies over. That was incredible. I also picked up a few shifts at Fantasmic for like an hour and a half. I was just running food, and then once the show starts, they give it about 10-15 minutes before they close down. And I mean, I heard the Fantasmic show a few times. Growing up, I always wanted to go to Walt Disney World. I grew up right next to Disneyland, and so I've just always been a Disney kid. My mom just could never afford to take me over to Walt Disney World. I think one of my favorite parts was I got to bring my parents to Walt Disney World and let them go into the parks for free, and I think that was just such a incredible thing. My mom is very supportive for me, and so that was one way for me to give something back to her. Yeah, again, like, I had incredible experiences there, and I would love to talk about them. So if I'm really being honest about the Disney College program, if you are curious and wondering what it's about before applying, it's really a 50-50 gamble. You could be working at the best spot, or you could be working at the worst spot. It really depends. You have no control over that. Even if you do work at one of the worst spots, it's just a few hours of your day working there. Then you get access to all the parks. I mean, I even made friends from so many different countries. Guatemala, UK. It was so much fun. I had the best time of my life. And I really recommend, if you turn 21, definitely do the program during there. It'd be great if you turn 21 earlier. I think my main takeaway is just don't let where you are placed destroy your experience or make you maybe not want to do the Disney College program. I recommend it to everyone. Even though I had a really bad experience, I recommend it to anyone. If you want to hear more about my experience, please give me a follow. I'm also going to be talking about movie talks. As you can see in I'm going to keep up my channel history. You can see all my previous videos. Really fun. I did some deep dive-ins with some Disney movies, other movies, but I want to start making this channel more about my passion. I've always been a Disney kid, Disney adult, but I'm not one of those Disney adults. But I do like Disney and I know about Disney. So I'm going to be talking about the parks, my college experience, movie. Feel free to follow me, and I'll see you in the next video.